You're listening to Montreal Now with Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on CJAD 800.
That is James Mennie. He is over at the Montreal Gazette. Jim, let me start by wishing you a Happy New Year.
And to you guys, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been so crazy. And it's so funny because I was saying, gee, I hope while they're out there gallivanting footloose and fancy free, they're not sort of worried, we'll have nothing to talk about when we come back because it's the beginning of November. We're going to have plenty to talk about forever and ever.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen. Oh.
We can start by talking about this is good news for people, New Year's resolution, brand new year, looking for perhaps a change of job, something that pays a little better than what you're making now. And the Quebec government very graciously has posted one for you.
Well, absolutely. If you believe you have the gumption and the wherewithal to oversee a healthcare network that has 300,000 employees, 1,500 installations, and as big a bureaucracy as you can shake a stick at, well, you too could put in your name to be the head of Santé Québec. The annual salary, I'm not talking about benefits. They're still trying to figure out if you get a driver in a car. The annual salary is $543,000 a year. That would make you the third best paid Quebec bureaucrat after Michael Sabia at Hydro-Quebec, $639. And whoever this is in charge this week of the Caisse de Dépôt, that's $550. My first question about Agent Santé job is $543,000. You couldn't chip in the extra $2,000 just to round it up to $545. It poses a question with a strange little number like that. But as you can imagine, guys, reaction to this job posting has been swift. The unions are pointing out once again that this is nothing more than a step towards privatization. This has got nothing to do with reforming the healthcare system. It's a matter of centralizing everything, and there's nothing in Bill 15 that suggests the contrary. And what I find fascinating as well is that this little detail of the $543,000 annual salary was sort of contained in Bill 15, which was, of course, rammed through with closure. How many other surprises will there be? I don't know. But what I find intriguing is why is it that the government says, we've got to pay these people, through the nose, the taxpayers' nose, because we want to attract, we want to compete with the public sector. What the hell job out there is there where you're running 300,000 employees and 1,500 installations? There is no equivalent. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why they didn't give, the successful candidate a base salary and give them sort of like, an incitement that if you do X, Y, and Z in the first year of your mandate, we're going to give you an extra, $60,000.
Yeah, but Jim, that's what the bonuses is for. I mean, this is plus bonuses.
I want it locked in. I want to get some results here. I don't want a hit or miss kind of a thing. I'll just bring it up. Yeah, if you're going in off the bat, 543 large in your pocket, I'm really wondering how focused you're going to be on doing your job, as opposed to, talking to your accountant and your stockbroker. But yeah, these numbers are absolutely nuts. And it just goes to show that, everything about this plan, which is supposed to be, rationalizing and streamlining and reforming and fundamentally changing healthcare, it seems like the same old, same old. It's going to be another branch of bureaucracy with people from outside the public service, because that's why we're calling them Top Guns, and they're going to be paid oceans of money to do, we're not really sure what exactly. I haven't seen any parameters put up and the objectives put up, only that, things have to change. I have a sneaking suspicion, though, guys, once this person is named to the job, we'll still be leading off our newscasts with Quebec ERs were overcrowded again today. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And in fact, I don't even think this job can be done. But we'll see. I want to be optimistic, but frankly, I think the gig's already up.
I thought it was interesting how they added that this job comes with a driver. And then so I imagine that was to drive them from hospital to hospital and put out fires.
Quebec City and back, right? Yeah.
No, that's to drive them from their well-appointed residence, probably in Sillery in Quebec City, to their office in Quebec City, which is pretty much the route they'll take for the duration of their mandate, sort of planning. Taking the old Transport Quebec thing. always plan stuff that's going to affect people in thousands of places, hundreds of miles away, in a small office, probably windowless, in Quebec City somewhere. And that's how we're going to, create a better and bolder Quebec for you and for me.
Listen, I'm thinking with, someone like a Gaétan Barrette, who's no longer really involved politically, right? He's
what
now
about Sophie
an analyst.
Brochu?
Could he theoretically apply for this job, do you think?
Why not?
Because probably more than he was making before.
Experience.
Yeah,
he can throw it in. Now the thing, what I find interesting is Christian Dubé says, he's been out talking to some fonctionnaire within the department, sort of encouraging them to put in for the job. But my question is, if you're sincere about, changing the system, I think most people will tell you when you are a part of the system, especially the system of bureaucracy in Quebec, no matter what the ministry is, it's very difficult, impossible to change things. If you come from outside, you don't care. You got a sledgehammer in your briefcase, and you're going to go in there and start smashing stuff up to change things. You might have a chance, but honestly, that it is beginning. That the entire existence of Santé Quebec is beginning with this ridiculous salary, which I really think, like it or not, is going to establish the tone with which this agency is going to be perceived. It doesn't bode well. I'm not expecting any major reforms.
But again, if you want to get the people in those top
That's
jobs,
the argument,
you need to have
right? Yeah.
that kind of money. And so, I was thinking, and you thought Gaétan Barrette, but I'm like, he wasn't a great health minister. Why would he be good in this role? I'm thinking someone like Sophie Brochu, who ran Hydro-Quebec so well in the time that she was there and is so competent. The health sector needs to be run like a business. It does.
Okay, well, remember, Sophie Brochu, as you quite rightly point out, was doing a bang-up job as head of Hydro-Quebec. Until, she denies this, I know, until Francois Legault and company says, well, we want to kind of change the way we do things over there.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
you're right.
Okay, I'm either in charge or I'm not. Remember, it's a crown corporation. And if we're turning, we're going to have a crown corporation called Agence Santé. You can't still go in there and play with the control panel whenever you feel like it because you're the minister. Your job apparently is to stay in your office, think big thoughts, and if something goes wrong, go after the person who did it.
Sure.
But you're supposed to, keep your hands off, which of course is not going to happen with this government.
But Jim, you know, and this is a point people will bring up in a case like this. You look at a number like 543,000, and you say, rightly so, perhaps that's a boatload of money. Why are we spending that much? But the argument on the other end, typically, when you want someone to run an organization this massive is, in order for us to get the candidate we believe can fill this job, look around at other healthcare systems, around the world, see how much, and I'm sure they've done this, see how much those people are getting paid. And if you don't pay this kind of money, you're not going to attract that kind of talent.
Well, that's entirely possible, but I also caution you that, health systems are not necessarily exactly the same everywhere. The other thing is, why not, if we're serious, because there are 17 administrative districts in Quebec, and not one of them has the same set of circumstances. This is not a one-size-fits-all system. The approach you're going to take out in Gaspé and the Côte-Nord is not the same approach you're going to take in Laval and Montreal. Why not appoint, if you'd like, not a super top gun, but perhaps, a bunch of medium guns and say, listen, this is your objective. Fix this in this district, and they will take it from there. Apparently, though, this is what this government likes to do. It likes to centralize the heck out of everything, and I think we are going to see, just when we thought, the labor was going to be the big tipping point for the Quebec government, I think it's certainly in terms of administration and in terms of just running the machine, trying to change how the machine is run is going to be a huge issue.
Okay. We got to wrap it up. Can you give me just real quick 20 seconds on what do you think of Sophie Brochu's column slagging all those columnists? What did I say? Sophie Brochu? Sorry. Sophie Durocher's column in the Journal de Montréal?
I haven't seen the column. Who's she flagging today? Is it somebody who's an Anglophone? Because that's usually the topic du jour.
Yeah, we're a bunch of whiners.
It's every columnist at the Gazette, but that's okay because that's going to be my question coming up. You get
filled in. Every columnist at the Gazette a whiner?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, the ones that are left, I'm not entirely sure. It's part of your job. It's your job as a columnist to whine. I mean, Sophie Durocher whines every other day because some minimum wage, barista decided to put one word of English and she is having the vapors, you know. But don't forget, over at the Journal, columnists there, it's more like professional wrestling. So this is just to get a rise out of people.
Excellent.
If she's going after the Gazette, really, I got news for you. I don't think that's a fight you want to get into, but that's just me.
Too late now. James Mennie over at the Montreal Gazette. Jim, thank you.
Adamant.